Today is August 12th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we're brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganass St. Louis Acura. Rammer Cardinals off on a Sunday, only games on Friday and Saturday this past weekend as they split the series in Kansas City. But before we get ready for the Reds, big news here about an hour ago. Jordan Walker recalled from Memphis. He will be back up with the Cardinals. Matt Carpenter placed on the 10-day IL, but we've been talking about it for a lot over the past few weeks. Jordan Walker finally getting a second chance with St. Louis this year.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to get it. My guess is, but I don't know what Ollie's plans are. My guess is if there's a lefty, Walker's going to be in there. And I think that this is going to be, it's developing into a lineup that is extremely platoon heavy. And I'm okay with that. Even the guy who's, been your most productive hitter, Burleson, does not hit lefties well. And so I think it's going to be a real strong righty-lefty platoon moving forward. There's going to be a handful of guys that'll play against everybody, Contreras and Wynn and probably Arenado. I even think Goldschmidt probably needs to be platooned a little bit. And so Walker gives you another right-handed bat to get some looks in. I'm a little surprised about Carpenter. I will assume it's a legit injury. And if it is, then Gorman and Nootbaar need to thank Carpenter's back that it's not one of them going out.
Rammer, Matt Carpenter turns 39 years old on November 26th. And speaking on behalf of other 39-year-olds, as I can.
Kids. So this is you're talking about youth now.
I can let you know that sometimes the lower back just hurts and and you need a couple days off. And
that never goes away, by the way. It only gets worse.
Speaking of somebody that was once 39 years old.
Mine's barking right now.
So I will say for Matt Carpenter, it's a legit injury. Could he probably go out there and take a few swings? I don't know, maybe. But let me tell you, hey, if I could take 10 days off and be happy with myself health-wise, I would do the same. Yes.
Yeah, my point is it wouldn't surprise me if we discovered that his back is no different today than it was a month ago or 2 months ago or whatever. But, hey, you manipulate the system, you get what you want. But, again, it easily could have been Nootbaar or Gorman in particular going out.
That's exactly what Claibs and I were just talking about on Lunch with Claibs and Joe, available now wherever you find your podcasts. And we were discussing exactly that and discussing the lineups and the way that it could go right now, because tonight they face Andrew Abbott, who is a lefty for the Reds. And looking at the production lately of a Pedro Pages, looking at the addition on the team of Tommy Pham, tonight you could have 1 through 7 in the lineup be all right-handers. I mean, I'm sure maybe you throw Brendan Donovan in there somewhere.
Donovan probably plays second.
Yeah.
And Scott plays center field, and everybody else is right-handed. I agree with you.
So how do you line them up today if you're going 1 through 9? And I'll give you Mason Wynn number 1. I'll give you Victor Scott at number 9. Rammer, you got to piece together 2 through 8.
Yeah, if they do that, if they go away, if, for instance, they don't want to put Burleson in there, he is the guy that I've thought for, 6 weeks, 2 months should have been the cleanup hitter all along. They kept praying that Goldie would be the cleanup hitter that he's been throughout his great career. But I would have gone with Burleson there. So if Burley's out of the lineup.
Oh, Rammer, hold on. The Cardinals just tweeted out the lineup tonight. So do you want me to give it to you?
No,
Do you want me to give you hints as to how many lefties are in the lineup?
Yeah, okay, because that's already a hint. I bet you there's 3.
There are 2.
It's Don. Are they? Is it? We'll play 20 questions. Are the two lefties Donovan and Scott?
It is Donovan and it is Scott. Yes.
So, what do we think of Brendan Donovan against left-handers? I'm going to just tell you what I would do. I would go Win Donovan because I love the way he handles the bat against everybody. Then I'd go Contreras 3. I might even put Tommy Pham 4. I don't know if they'd do that. God, you could almost stack up the rest of those right-handers any way you wanted to go. Yeah, it doesn't even really matter after that.
Your Cardinal lineup for tonight, Sonny Gray on the mound. It looks like this. Mason Wynn leads off and plays short. Wilson Contreras DHing and batting second. Tommy Pham playing left field, batting third. Nolan Arenado third. Paul Goldschmidt plays first. Brendan Donovan batting sixth and playing second base. Jordan Walker makes his return, batting seventh and playing right. Pedro Pages behind the plate. And Victor Scott II is in center field.
That's a good logical lineup.
I would have flipped Pham and Contreras.
2 and 3?
3, yep.
2 and 3. Yeah, I'd have been fine either way, but I would put
the speed at 2. I'd put the speed at 2 and the power at 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Wilson's he doesn't have the at bats for the raw number production, but yeah, I think he's been your best guy. Again, not counting Burleson, who's had more at bats. So I think I would do that too, Joe. If we're gonna have those guys 2 and 3, I think I'd do it the way you would.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, that's just nitpicking right there. That's all we're doing
okay.
at this juncture. That's your lineup tonight. The Reds, just for a little inside baseball here, the Reds usually post their lineup before anybody else, earlier than anybody else in all of baseball, from what I have noticed over the past couple years with the Reds. So I am shocked that the Cardinals got their lineup out before they did. That is very surprising to me, because David Bell seems to get his lineup out very, very quick. And
you know what? They may have 1 or 2 guys that are have to be evaluated before they find out if they're available. Something like that could be the case, because you're right. That's a pretty solid trend.
Yeah, so that is not out yet, but the Cardinals will face Andrew Abbott tonight, 9-9 on the year with a 3.70 ERA, 104 strikeouts on the year. Another thing Claibs and I talked about, and Rammer, you and I can get into this later on this week and over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But September call-ups are coming, and with the new changes to roster rules, where you go from 26 to 29, you can't just have 40 men in the roster. You can't have a full dugout full of minor leaguers once the year is over. Cardinals have some decisions to make as far as what to do with those 3 spots. This past weekend, Steven Matz got another start at AAA through 60 pitches, and the Cardinals finally activated Riley O'Brien, who's been on the DL or the IL since day 2 of the 2024 season. So those are 2 arms that we have not seen in a long time. 2 left-handed arms that we have not seen in a long time. Add to that Michael McGreevy earning a second start at some point with what he did his first start with the Cardinals. There's a lot of potential there for roster moves in the month of September.
I would say, so it's 3 guys. I'd go Sajacy, I'd go McGreevy, and then either one of those bullpen guys, left-handers, or Matz.
Siani's going to come back too.
That's right. Oh, yeah. So so maybe if you maybe Sajacy doesn't get the call up because you take Siani and 2 pitchers. On the other hand, if you've got Scott, are he and Siani the same guy theoretically? Although it doesn't hurt to have speed coming off your bench. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see how they work that out.
Yeah. And as you and I both know, baseball seems to always find a way to make other things work out too along the way. So it will be fun to see down the stretch how that looks. But it's just fun in general to be able to talk about a playoff run that the Cardinals will be on starting tonight. 1.5 games out of the third wild card spot. The reeling Braves right now clinging to that third wild card spot, with the Diamondbacks and the Padres 4 games ahead of them in wild card spot 1 and 2.
Yeah, as you look at it, I think the Cardinals were very fortunate to get out of Kansas City with a split. That was the best you could hope for with those pitching matchups. So it's the overall offense, in particular against left-handed pitching, hitting with runners in scoring position, striking out too much, not walking enough. Those are some major things, but the 4 and 5 spot in the rotation is also a major handicap. So while you're hanging in there around the 500 mark, those are several categories that you really need to address and try and get them fixed before you make that September run. As I said on this show before, you really need to start making your run now. So Cardinals coming in fresh with a day off on Sunday. The Reds facing the Reds this week before the Dodgers come into town coming up this weekend. Dodgers this weekend. If you want to stay in the hunt, a sweep. You got to sweep in this. You failed to get the sweep of the Rays. I think winning series and picking up winning. Joe. I know it is. I know. Then that's where we disagree. But at some point, you got to put together a nice string of a 5-6 game winning streak at some point to. I agree with that. And that's 2 sweeps. I mean, that you're looking at it. I'm not saying sweep the Dodgers. I'm not that unrealistic, but that's what I thought you were getting at.
No, I'm talking about the Reds. I'm talking about the Reds this way. I mean, if you want to start putting yourself in contention, sweeping teams like this and getting to a point where you look at the schedule and you say, hey, here's where we can make a run of winning 5 or 6 straight. It's got to happen at some point. And I know the Dodgers this weekend's a tall task, but a 3-game winning streak against the Reds this week would sure be nice.
Yeah, I think another formula is win multiple 3, 4, 5 series in a row, and then somewhere along the line get that 5, 6, 8 game winning streak. That's another way to go about it. Find ways to win. That's not much insight, but like I said, you got to figure out the 4th and 5th spot in the rotation. You've got to be better with runners in scoring position. That means situational hitting, as Tony La Russa would say, not swinging from your butt and leading the world and striking out. It's drawing more walks. And so those are a number of issues that if you can get a handle on them, you can set yourself up to make a little run.
Game time tonight is 5:40 start time Central Time for Reds and Cardinals as we wrap up today's show. Brought to you, as always, by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Rammer Royal Banks.
Royal Banks in Missouri, where better service means better banking. Went by one of the great Royal Banks branches today. And as always, people friendly and efficient and helpful. Really, really good stuff. And that's what you get every day, whether you're in St. Louis, the East Side, St. Charles County, or Northeast Missouri. It's Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you tomorrow right here on Daily Cards Live.
Munganess St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX. So that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Munganess St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.